Peace, beautiful souls. Peace, peace. Happy Monday. I'm coming in here in between little pit stops. Let's talk. Let me see if I can get this up here. I probably should have did this before I even. Let's see. It's not working. All right, so y'all, let's talk. I just came into something. Hey, Nature Wolf. I'm trying to take this thing off. Oh dear. All right, there we go. Let's see if I can do that. Hey, Nature Wolf. I came across something else. In my journey, I came across some information the other day. His name is Smudge. I think his handle is Smudge something on IG. And we were talking behind the scenes, and he enlightened me about the metals and everything that was utilized in the harmonious. Well, he didn't say this, but he was just basically talking about the metals and the androids and everything like that in terms of the ascension, right? The ascension of all dimensions, right? So I myself now came into a more broader sense of understanding through myself of how all of this correlates in harmony. Now, in harmony, everything is working with ourselves. All of the dimensions are basically somewhat like synchronized in harmony, right? That is the unity of the oneness, right? The oneness of all of the dimensions working, interconnectedly in harmony. But what has happened on this timeline is that we don't see the harmonic value. The reason why it's such a strange thing to kind of conceive is because, we've been conditioned to see the separation of everything, right? We're not conditioned to see the harmony of everything. But when you go back into some of the stories, right, and you hear about, like how they talk about in the Bibles, the heavens, the ground is made of gold, and it's gold this and it's gold that, and the elements and then all of these things. It is alluded that everything worked in harmony. All of the dimensions worked in harmony. Now this might be a little, I'm gonna do my best to try to remember the gold being excavated. Now in harmony, everything is working with ourselves. All of the dimensions are basically somewhat like synchronized in harmony, right? That is the unity of the oneness, right? The oneness of all of the dimensions working, interconnectedly in harmony. But what has happened on this timeline is that we don't see the harmonic value. The reason why it's such a strange thing to kind of conceive is because, we've been conditioned to see the separation of everything, right? We're not conditioned to see the harmony of everything. But when you go back into some of the stories, right, and you hear about, like how they talk about in the Bibles, the heavens, the ground is made of gold, and it's gold this and it's gold that, and the elements and then all of these things. It is alluded that everything worked in harmony. All of the dimensions worked in harmony. Now this might be a little, I'm I'm gonna do my best to try to explain it, because it's still in another aspect of what unity consciousness look like. The reason why it is so hard for us to really kind of somewhat fathom unity consciousness is because we've been in this energetic field for so long of separation. Everything around us, has been alluded to move in a separational aspect of being. But when we hear some of the stories and different things of that nature that resonates with your being, you realize that everything down to the metals and all of those things that are connected to us worked in harmony. To give you an idea, it's just like a piano, right? You have your high chords and you have your low chords, right? But when you hit the correct chords in the proper sequence, right, regardless of whether it's, a high chord or a low chord, when you hit it and it creates a harmony, right, or a vibration, right, the highs, the middles, and the highs, the middles, and the lows, the middles, and the highs, when it's in a correct synchronization, it creates harmony. If you hit a chord and it's not in the correct algorithmic synchronization, then it creates a discord, right? It creates a discord. So, but we've been in this energy for so long that we never saw, we missed the connection mark of how everything is connected. All right, so point in case with the gold, right? Remember the gold. We used to engulf ourselves in gold. We had gold in our mouth. It was intricate to us. And they made that aspect something that was just, that was just not norm. That wasn't socially acceptable. So when you saw a person that had a grill in their mouth or a mouth full of gold teeth or whatever the case may be, it was just deemed socially unacceptable, when in actual reality, that was something that was significant to us, because we're supposed to be, we are gold. There's gold. These properties are within the crystal aspect of our being, but we never, and I'm just bringing this to a visualization. I would love to have a dialogue if you guys want to talk about it. But it's for us to understand the unity consciousness and everything dimensionally, as long as it was working in a harmonic type stance, right? In harmony, it worked together to our benefits. Now, of course, I got something that I want to show you guys in a video. It's a video. And I'm going to show you guys this video to give you an idea. Now, remember crystals, right? Crystals used to be, you could get a crystal for $20, $10, $15, but now there's a value of crystals now, right? Because crystals falls in alignment with the gold, the platinum, the silver, all of these metals and different things of that nature that are now somewhat are starting to see itself more valuable now because of the transition of what has been taking place. Well, I want to show you something about these excavations that are now taking place in these crystals. Now, these places where these crystals are being excavated from, you got to ask yourself, do you know where this place is, right? Do you know where this space is at, where all of these crystals are now being excavated, right? So I want to show you guys this, okay? And I want to tie into something to where unity conscious is, and even give you a story to kind of like make it a little bit more cohesive, because it's something that we know throughout the indoctrination of religion and everything, right? Just remember, streets made of gold, right? The Golden Gates, right? The Golden Gates, the streets made of gold, all of these things are the metals that was working in harmony. Dimensional harmony, right? Something that we have been deliberately exempt from. And this is why it seems so foreign, or it seems so out of touch, or, we can't really fathom how the harmonic aspect of us is going to be, or the unity conscious is going to be, because we've been subjugated to a frequency right? That does not promote unity, right? This is why we see the metals separate from us when we are the metals. The very thing we see the crystals separated from us when there is a crystal aspect of our being. We see the silver aspect separate up because they have the illusion of separation, right? Has made it so grand and significant that it's so hard for us to fathom the unity consciousness. But the unity consciousness have always been. Everything that is connected to source is also within us, right? But we never saw it. We never, we were never told. So I'm going to try my best to tie it in so that you can see what is now being done, because now they want to hold another aspect of source. The disconnected, right, from source want to hold another aspect of source hostage. But if we move in unity consciousness to include the metals, to include all things that are connected to source, to ascend, without in this process, without having to be circumvented, right, or hijacked, okay, because we understand this is where the true oneness come in. I always say I want truth. So when it comes to me this way, I'm going to share it with you guys, and hopefully somebody else can take the baton, just like Nipsey say, the marathon continues, right? Hopefully somebody else can take the baton and move it in a higher space, right? Or in a higher space, in a frequency that will bring more clarity, right? Because the frequencies is what brings the clarity. It is what brings the wisdom, right? So I'm going to show you guys a video, okay, of this excavation of these crystals. Now, when I have to say, when I see this, I feel some type of way, family. I have to be honest about the energy that I feel when I see this. It's almost like when we used to feel about like the diamonds, like we call them blood diamonds and different things of that nature. That is the space that I'm feeling right now with these crystals. But I'm going to show you something, and then you guys tell me what you think about it. Okay, let me go ahead and do it, and here we go. Okay, so y'all saw the excavation, and I left the channel, the YouTube, not the YouTube channel, the Instagram, so that you guys can see this page, and they do a grand amount of excavation of these humongous crystals in many different places. So you got to ask yourself, why is this such a grand excavation of these crystals now? I have to say that in the band of the oneness, right? The band of the oneness and harmonic aspect does include all dimensions, right? All dimensions that is connected. Now it's okay. Hopefully it's not skipping. It is everything that is connected to source energy. So that's all things that are dimensional, because as I said yesterday, the vibration, if you are vibrating on a low vibration, right? Because right now we are all on a resonance of a resonating vibration of a low vibration, because a lot of what's happening is being, we were resonating on a low vibration. A lot of what is happening is circumventing that low stance of vibrating low, because of what is energetically or ecologically taking place, right? In our atmosphere, right? Through our sun, through us, right? Responding, right? Through the blue crystal babies that are coming here, that are being born. So, there are so many different peace. Hi, deity. Hi, Naturo Mono Homo. I know I chopped that out. Hi, Alumna. I be talking with my eyes closed. This excavation, right, of these crystals and everything that is taking place, you got to make you wonder as to why they are now moving in alignment with the metals and with the crystals. Now, remember, back in the day, you could get a crystal for like a little of nothing. You would go and get crystal glasses and stuff like that. It'll make a upper echelon of appearance and stuff like that. But at the same rate, it was pretty much affordable. Now you got these mass excavations that are going on with all the crystals and the metals and everything, family. This is why unity consciousness is far much grander than us as a human, us as a human being, us as an extended being, or what have you. It is all of the dimensions, all that dwells within the dimensions in the ascensional value. When we were in our ascensional value, the conductor, right? The reasons why, we didn't have to, use electricity in the manner to which we are using, because the copper, the copper, the gold, the streets were made of gold. These are natural energy conductors, right? The crystals are natural energy conductors. So when you see them now starting to excavate crystals, right? Crystals in the manner to which they're doing at a heavy rotation. This is, I hope this shows you how connected we truly are. And how manipulated this timeline has truly been, and our ascension value in terms of us ascending, right? You ascending yourself inadvertently now is going to be a part of the collective ascension, right? But we still have to understand most of the components that comes along with the ascension, and it is the metals, it is the gold, the copper, the platinum, all of these things, because the reason why and this is just in my opinion, the reason why they do Haiti the way that they do, because there's okay, just like there's a hierarchy in our being as what we would call human being. Exactly, that is very true, Naturiel. Yes, very true. There's a hierarchy in these minerals, right? These metals, right? There's I can't even think of the name of this particular metal that resides in Haiti. This is why the fight and everything in Haiti has been so grand. But I can't even think of the name of the metal that's there. So there is also a hierarchy in terms of energy reception, even in the metals, right? That conducts energy. This is why they have done, Haiti the way that they're doing Haiti, and all of the things, the low vibrational things that happens there energetically, because there was an energetic field that is gallium. That's what it's called. I think you're right. You know what? I think that's the name of it. I think you're right. I know it's some name that that sounds about right. That's there, right? That is very, 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 like, I don't know what it is. It seems like it's like, it's better than gold, right? The emphasis is better than gold, so because of what, its connection, source property connections that it has. This is where, I know that what I'm saying sounds strange and unusual, family. I get it. It's out of the ordinary. I know that people are talking about it, but sometimes they speak it in a way where it's like it's very difficult to understand. But nevertheless, it's still something that needs to be put out there so that we can understand the interconnectedness of what this illusionary aspect of separation has really severed. Because, even now, everybody's like, how do we get to unity consciousness? Well, we are unity consciousness. We are unity consciousness. We are unity consciousness. But it's just that we've been disconnected from that aspect based off the illusion of separation. Right? Everything around you is telling you to move at a separate stance, a separate aspect of being. That is what this timeline offers you, is this low vibrational illusion of being, right? And so now they're excavating all of these crystals, these mass crystals, this company now. And see, the thing of it is that they're advertising it, right? Because truth, universal law, we have to know. So now that I'm acknowledging in universal law, that I'm aware of what is being taken place, right? That kind of somewhat puts them in, it allows them to be able to move forward in their effort of deception of what it is that they're going to utilize these resources for, right? Because now we are aware. And this is what they do for public consumption, because they're like, well, we told you through video that we're excavating, because they understand that telepathically we can pick up on the telepathic communication without. This whole video didn't say nothing. It didn't say a word, but it had telepathical information in for those of us that is on that frequency to understand it, what is actually taking place. So there's still a connection value, and these are and it's not to say that only a few of us have it. We all have it. Oh, we all have it. We all have the ability to tap in to this aspect of our being, but as long as we believe in this illusionary aspect of separation and all that falls on this timeline, it just makes it a little bit harder for us to tap into that aspect of our being, because we're being pulled energetically into another energetic field or in another energetic space, right? By our own consent, by our own belief, right? We are all what we are. So now they're holding the metals hostages because it is connected to source, just as we are connected to source. However great, however small, there is still a connectional value to source. And when you listen to some of the allegorical stories that was put before us through religion and indoctrination, they did let us know through universal law that the streets were made of gold, the crystal towers, the crystals, this and everything. We were all synchronized into everything, because there's a crystal aspect of our being, there's a gold aspect of our being, there's a platinum aspect of our being, the metals aspect of me. When you're taking your minerals, so that's one of the things about taking minerals. They tell you to take your minerals external from you but you are a mineral. You are you are zinc. You are these things already. Right? You are all of these minerals comprised that they say that you have to now ingest from an external value to keep you in a separational aspect of being, when in actual reality we are these things. We work in unity with these very metals and these crystals. This is why they call us the crystalline being, because our DNA or our genetic has a crystallized aspect of being. The very crystals that has manifested itself into the material side shows itself within ourselves as being within us, right? Just like with the vibration and the vibrational patterns that create sacred geometry, right? It is all within us. And when we ascend, everything else is supposed to ascend along with us, right? Because the harmony of us understands the synergy and the synchronization of our being to maintain that harmony. Otherwise, we are able to become infiltrated through these intentions, right? These low vibrational intentions, right? That keeps us in the illusion aspect of separation, right? So I know many of us is still like holding on to a lot of these things that has transpired into these timelines. And I'm not expecting anybody, because, everybody says, it's in their own timing. It's a process to elevate and different things of that nature. And I get that. But regardless of where you are in this process, I am in hopes to stimulate an aspect of your being so that you can see how unity really works. The unity conscious really works. It's not just about the people becoming on the same wavelength. It's about all things that we are connected to, all things that are connected to source energy, right? All things that are connected to source. And what it is that we have to now understand and move from is our level of spiritual discernment that I said in my last live, the spiritual discernment, so that you could be able to differentiate what is truth and what is a false sense of truth. I'm going to show the excavation of this massive crystal. And this is not the first time I've seen this page do this. I just finished watching your last live in your home, and I really did connect with all you spoke about. Gratitude. That is the key. That is the key. Oh, gratitude, gratitude. I'm talking to all of us. I am talking to all of us. You are connected to me. I'm talking to myself. I am talking to you. I am talking to all of us. I am talking to me. I'm talking to you, because we're communicating energetically, through each other, with each other, but yet and still through each other. That is why it's so I push the unity consciousness so tough, because I understand that there's power in it. When we engage in terms of, our interaction, there's just like Yaki and you and everybody that's on this platform, even though you may not be talking, but the energy, right? In terms of even sometimes when you guys comment, you're still sending energy that could connect to a coded aspect of my being for remembering, right? I'm saying certain things to you that connects to a coded aspect of your being in terms of remembering who you are, right? So I push it real tough. And to weed out the trash and the garbage, we just have to have a level of spiritual discernment. The spiritual side of ourselves, the discerning side of us, we just have to have a level of spiritual discernment to be able to differentiate what is spiritually true and what is a false sense of truth, right? But as I said, the unity consciousness is far much more deeper than just us. I have moved into an understanding that the metals, the crystals and everything that dwells within us, they're trying to say that it's separate from us. But even in this material side of being, their visual aspect of separation still work in conjunction with who we are as conductors, as energetic conductors, to where we can always have free energies and not have to be taxed in different things, because all of these are source energy. It's connected, just like you are an energetic value, you are an energetic field. Okay, yes, we are bringing this out together. You the vessel. So, gratitude. You are also the vessel. Anytime you see anything in me, know that it is of you as well. It is, we are, know that it's of you as well. I know a lot of times people say, they don't call everybody your reflection, as well as you should not, because in a sense, the spiritual discernment will let you know whether or not if that is a reflection of you. Because a lot of times what happens in terms of reflection, a lot of people feel that it has a lot to do with hue. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have everything to do with hue. It has everything to do with vibration and frequency, right? So even through the phones and even through it has, the reflection of you has everything to do with your energetic aspect of being, right? This is why I don't look at hue. Because I understand that it's much deeper than just what we've been illusionized. You have to understand, family, that everything has been put in to this lower vibrational aspect of being. Everything to keep us away from ourselves, to keep us separate from ourselves, because of the true power of the oneness. And now that I'm moving into the space of what this oneness really is, and I'm starting to get why this illusion of separation has been pushed so tough on every crevice, crack, and corner, is because, family, that power, that energetic power that creates that energetic belt of oneness, if we ever were to, as a whole, understand our collective value. The thing of it is that we have to understand what we truly are connected to. And anything that is connected to source is connected to us. All things that are not, the other things that are not connected to source is you have to look at it from a perspective of the deception, right? They are the deceptional value that maintains a level of deception because they don't have that love, energy or frequency to be connected to. The reason why we have so much despair is because they can't connect to love, because they're fallen from grace. Those entities and beings have fallen from grace, right? So when we're looking for them to have compassion, love, and this and that or whatever, how can you have something that you are no longer connected to? You're no longer connected to the source energy that facilitates that aspect of being. So therefore it becomes where you can't identify with it because you're not connected to that value, that energetic value, to have the presence of being able to feel it, right? It is very deep. And as I say, you guys, I'm about cohesiveness. So stop me anytime if there's something that you want to ask me a question or whatever. And if I have the ability to answer it, I would do my due diligence, the best of my ability to answer it, or, put myself in a space to become open to receive. Right? So just ask me, because I want this to be cohesive, because we have to understand, all that is connected to us, not just ourselves, not just us within ourselves, not just us, as, my husband or my family or my friend or my coworker or whatever. It is far much more deeper than that. We were one with gold. We were one with silver. We were one with crystals. We were one with the trees. We were one with earth in terms of how when we transitioned, how we gave our avatar back to earth. We were one. We were harmonic. There was harmony in our presence, in our energies, in our return, in our transition. It was all peace. It was harmony, right? So when the reason why the unity side of it is totally severed is because there's harmony. There's harmony, and where there's harmony, there's power. There's power in harmony, right? And there's confusion in discord. Okay, so we were harmony, and as I say, ask me if you're missing the mark, if you're not getting it. I'm here. So in my efforts, in my ascension of unity consciousness, this is what has been bestowed upon me. Now, I will say that there are people that knows about this, right? This is not no new revelation. This is just a remembrance, right? But there are people that remembered, but we were at a low vibrational time and fear that it was not, people were not able to execute it and articulate it and verbalize it due to fear of losing their avatar or whatever the case may be. But now we're in a different vibration. We're different in a different energy, right? So this is not no new information. There are people that knows this. I'm sure. I'm positive of it. But in terms of the expression value of it, people used to move. They were fearful in putting this information out there. Also, too, we were heavily sedated under this illusion of separation, that when someone would try to say anything, how many people got put in an insane asylum in a straitjacket for trying to talk like this. They were saying that they were hallucinating or they were schizophrenic, and all of those labels to keep when these individuals was just clearly having multidimensional experiences, and clearly having multidimensional experiences. But they labeled it, this illusion labeled it as schizophrenia. This illusion labeled it, as delusional, right? This low vibrational, the intentions of discord, right? Timeline. This is what was done. This was what was capable of being done, being that we were moving at a low vibrational sense of being. Right. This is what one would call the hell consciousness, the lower state of being. The names that they give you, they made you afraid of hell when they had you in hell the entire time. this low vibrational the intent. Okay. They told you that hell was external of you, that hell was crimson. Yeah, I know. That hell was crimson and what is it? I forgot what they say hell is, but y'all get the gist of what they told you, indoctrination of hell. When in the entire time, let me know when it becomes clear, fam. Let me know when it becomes clear. Okay, because I want it to be clear. All right, so the deception is that they told you about hell, right? They told you that hell was gratitude. They told you that hell in the indoctrination, awesome, gratitude. In the indoctrination, they told you that hell was external of you, that you had to transcend, right? Which is, and let me explain to you how it wasn't a lie. And it was a deception, right? The deception in it all. So universal law is to make you aware. It doesn't say how you are made aware, but as long as you are made aware, because we are supposed to know that we're supposed to move in our truth. Because we are truth, right? So because we are truth, universal law is going to honor our truth because we are truth. Okay? We are truth walking. We are truth, right? So the manipulation of you, because I know everybody's trying to figure this out and how to understand it. So this is the way that I've come to understand it. And many people may come in a different way of understanding, but I try to understand it in a way that I can articulate it, and it can be, somewhat received through others, by others, right? Okay, so universal, see you as truth. You are the power. So when you want to experience something, right? Universal law is always in alignment. It's always in its proper aspect. So it's going to see you and say, okay, this is what this truth wants to experience, right? Now the truth has been deceived. There's a deception in your truth, right? Because now you're living in a false sense of truth, because the universe only sees your truth and is going to respond from your truth, because you are the truth. You have always been the truth. You got to see yourself as truth. I don't care what you have done in your life. I don't care if you done robbed a bank, hit somebody upside the head, done fought, you arguing, I don't care what the illusion, the cultivation of this illusion has brought you down in vibration to be able to move in those spaces, right? I don't care about that. Because now I get how all this shit actually was able to commence, right? So no judgment here. No judgment. So when people talking about, the truth and how somebody could be the truth and they bad and they're, no. Mm-mm. The vibration will allow you to be what you are at the lower state of your being. So if you were to raise your frequency right into a higher vibration, then that badness is going to change into a different aspect of being. What we perceive as bad down here in this lower aspect of being is going to, as you rise in frequency, it transcends into something else. This is why the transcendence is the transcending or the ascension of ourselves is been stagnant, because when you ascend, you no longer move into your energetic imprint that allows you to allows you to be capable to moving at your lower self. Everybody lower self is going to emit a different frequency, because we are a different energetic imprint that is built by design to be a part of the oneness. And as you ascend, you move into a different reality. You move into a different level of experience based off the frequency and the vibration that supports it, right? So, with the universe sees you as truth. You are truth. It doesn't see you anything else. Regardless of what we're doing in terms of the experiences that we are having, it sees us as truth, okay? So in the Bible now, the Bible told you that hell was external of you, right? Hell was an external value that you had to die. You had to die in order to experience. Heaven was an external value that you had to die. You had to physically die in order to experience. Now, they were not lying. But it never was a place that you had to physically die to attain, right? The death, right? The death came in, and listen to what they say. They didn't say you had to physically die. They used visuals. They never said you had to physically die, but they used visuals to insinuate that that's what you had to do, right? They never said you had to physically die. They just said death. So it's death of the death of the lower frequency is the ascension to the higher frequency, right? That is the metaphysical death is when you ascend from the lower frequency, right? Or the lower aspect of being, or the lower self. That is the death of the lower self, because now you have ascended into another state of being, right? In frequency. But they made everything separate from you without telling you that it was separate from you, because they never told you that everything is separate from you. They illusionized it and visualized it. We came up with our own by setting experiences and circumstances through the fear energy, because it's always been the fear factor against the X factor, okay? The unknown, right? Through the energies of fear to get us to move into these low vibrational stances of being and maintaining our energetic imprint in our lower selves. So everything that we are capable of doing in our lower self, yes, energetically we are capable of doing it in our lower self, but we were never designed or built to stay in our lower selves, right? It was never designed for us to stay in that aspect of our energetic imprint on the lower stance of being. But they knew that they can manipulate those who are connected, the fallen, knew that they can manipulate the energies. All of our energies have been manipulated. If you ever believed in indoctrination, the doctor, and all of these many different aspects, and thinking that everything is external of us, our energies were manipulated, because we never saw ourselves as frequency, energy, and vibration, right? So now what is transpiring? So that was the hell. The hell is the heaven is a higher state of consciousness, and the hell is the lower state of consciousness, or the lower state of being. And they did not want you to ascend, which is all energy and frequency, to your higher state of being, to the heavens, because the heavens has always been your higher state of being. That has always been the heavens. And the hell, that they call the hell, has always been your lower nature. We were never supposed to be stagnant in our lower nature. It was always a choice to be that. But then our consent, our spiritual consent consented to remaining, because like I said, the universe don't because the universe sees us as truth. So if we spiritually agree, they don't. And see, the thing about the lower side, or the disconnected ones, they understood that they don't care how you get the consent, long as the consent is given. So the manipulation of our frequency, right, was through fear, fear, deception, and manipulation. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. Because in order for the unity consciousness to really come to full effect of understanding, for us to get, we got to get this part of it and understand that all of this was inception and conception through the fear factor, right? The fear factor. This is how all of this was able to be, comprised. It's through fear. Everything. It separated you from the understanding of what true oneness what true oneness looks like, right? We all thought about nature, like the birds, the bees, and the trees, and everything, and all that. No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper. It's dimensional connection. Because when one dimension ascends, the next dimension ascends, right? So as we are talking about the third, fourth, fifth dimension ascending, right, into the fifth dimension, the first, the second, and the third is also ascending. So now what's taking place? Now you see all of these excavations of these crystals, the very thing that they just like how they did gold. They made gold so cheap one time, and then they bought. Okay, what about now? Okay, can you guys hear me now? Okay. Okay. Okay, so. Oh, God. I don't even know how to. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay. But even though it was muffled, were you guys still able to hear me? Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you there's about a 15-second delay on my live. Okay. So, there's about a 15-second delay on my live. All right. So, okay. Ashe, gratitude. Okay. So, all right. So, the whole aspect of the hell and the heavens and all of that, we never had to physically transcend in order to achieve it. That was the manipulation of our energies, right? In the ascension aspect of being right now, in the harmonic side of what unity consciousness looks like, it is all dimensions. Everything ascends. But what's happening as each dimension ascends into a dimension that is you're no longer able to tap into, right? The idea is to hold another element that is connected to source, because we are also an element as well. Hold another element that is connected to source hostage, right? That's why you got the androids, you got now you got all of these excavations of crystals and everything. I'm sure they're paying this excavationist that we just saw on that video, I'm sure that they're paying him a shitload of money to do what he's doing, right? And we have to understand our true connection to all that is connected to source. All that is connected to source. We have to understand that aspect of our being in order for us to really truly realize what is transpiring. What is the heavens? What is the hell? Who are you? Why are you? Right? You the whys of you, right, is because you are a manifestation of the all-knowing. You are God expressing itself, right? You are the very source expressing itself in the multiplicity of being, right? You are energy. And there are some aspects that were connected to source that has fallen from grace and fallen from mercy. So that love that we once felt for each other in the benevolence aspect of being has been grossly suppressed from a parasitic, aspect that no longer can connect or identify with it. Why? That's why everything is egregious and harsh in nature, aggressive in nature. Right? In this aspect of a lower vibrational version of the material world. What if I told you can have a higher vibration of the material world? Thus, the images that we saw, in Egypt, right? A higher, minus the slaves. Let's take that out of there. You know what I'm saying? But you can move in a higher state of being a material side of being, right? But, this realm is hijacked from that. But what we got now, from whatever it's coming from, we got energies now that is circumventing whatever energetic field that they had that kept us in a state of low vibration, right? Without us being, able to ascend, right? That has been severed. So if you are moving now, if you're moving in these frequencies, these low vibration with discord, right? Now, understand, we have normalized a lot of discord because we didn't realize that it was discord. We didn't realize that, this moving in this functionality of existing was in a discorded energy and frequency because we've normalized it, right? So you got to ask yourself now, how do you become harmony? How do you become more harmonious in chord? Because I'm speaking vibrationally, because let me explain something about vibration to give you a visual of what that looks like again, right? That is if you got a piano, right? And you got the high, the middle, and the low, right? Thus the harmony, right? You got the highs, the middles, and the lows. This is where unity consciousness come in. You have the highs, the middles, and the lows. You got the 1,000 watt, you got the 100 watt, and then you got the 50 watt or the 40 watt, right? So separate, right? You just got doom, but together you got a whole cord. You got a 1,140 watts, or you got a whole cord when you mash the keys, and then if that chord is harmonic and like with the intentions of being in harmony, then it's going to be a beautiful chord. The highs, the middles, and the lows, right? But if there's an intention of deception or discord, and you hit a key, and you hit the wrong key, right? You hit the wrong, then you're going to hear the difference. You're going to hear the scramble or the discord or the disharmony when you hit a bad key, right? Because the discord now is set from intentions. What is the intentions of this realm, right? I'm trying to break it down to the best of my ability. The intentions of this realm and hijacking this realm is because we are connected to source energy, and the fallen has fallen from grace, which means they're no longer connected to source. So they hijacked us, keep us at a low frequency, because guess what? If we ascend out of this range, then they have no ability to connect to us. So the idea was to keep us at a descended aspect of being, low vibrational aspect of being, where our energetic imprint will allow us to have these low vibrational experiences based off of our energetic imprint in this vibration, in this frequency. Thus why we experience aging, death, in the manner to which we experience the illusion of separation, the greed, right? All of these things that we have experienced that we now call trauma, right? As we came into this incarnation, we came in through artificial light. As we leave this incarnation through transition, right? We leave in a traumatic aspect of being, because then they want to do autopsy. They all of these, this diseases that has been bestowed upon our vessels, and all of these things, all of these have been set in intentions of discord that we've normalized. So how, Patrice, how have we normalized? Oh, she got cancer. We're going to take her to the hospital. We're going to put her on chemotherapy. Oh, she has to get a degree. She has to be a doctor. She has to be a lawyer in order to be able to survive this system, right? Oh, you got to be in politics so that you could be able to, maneuver, so that you can have, some sense of, financial freedoms or whatever. Yeah. That's spiritual agreement. That's spiritual consent. We moved in the because we knew not of ourselves, and at the time it just seemed like that was the only option, and it seemed like right, because based off of lineage and what we've seen in the past and the success records of these people conforming to this low vibrational state of being, we normalized it and we gave it permission to exist because that we knew not of ourselves. So the whole entire time, we've been given permission to exist in this low vibrational state of being because we normalized it. We gave it permission to exist because through lineage, and we never understand how it became through our lineage, and it became through our lineage because of force, because of fear. And our survival was to conform to it. But we're not looking at the conception of how they got generation after generation us to agree, spiritually agree, and they understand that it had to be through the bloodline, because that's universal law. In order for any of this to commence and work. Oh man. And like I say, I'm just skating the ice. I know that more people can go into a much deeper aspect of the metaphysical side of all of this in a much deeper way, but I just want to say it in a way where it's enough to say that we can understand it, so that we can now start moving and make the changes that we need to make within ourselves, within our being, because now we got more information. Now we can make more of an informed decision. If it doesn't resonate with your being, then that's fine. I get that part, because I understand that we are all on different journeys and all on different paths, and I'm not here to try to convince you one way or the other, because you cannot violate free will on this plane. You can lead a horse to a well, but you can't force him to drink, right? The only way you can force the horse to drink is if you starve it. right? You starving and you take the water away, right? And then now you bring, once you see that you know the horse now is parched, dying of thirst, then now you offer the water that you want to serve it. It's forced to drink now because you've starved it. Gratitude, Mr. Over, gratitude. That's my thing. I want people to get it. I'm losing my voice because all of these uploads, these upgrades is coming to me. It's coming to me in a rapid rate, and I'm literally I'm drained. I don't know if y'all can see it, y'all. I'm tired. But it's something that has to be done. Gratitude. Hello, Insafakan. Y'all know I'm chopping up these names. Yes, I do need to do that. Hi, beautiful. Yes, see through the lies. Hello, mama. But you know, namaste. I have to get. Well, you know, yes, more of it. But the thing of it is that the energy that I get it, the authenticity of it is like I have to get it out in that energy, right? In that frequency. And you know, and I've tried to kind of like wait until I'm able to like, but then I don't want to lose the momentum. Okay, what can you tell us about the ancestors visiting our dreams, like ascended family that took care of me as a child? Well, as a child, of course, you were closer to your ancestors. You know, believe it or not, family, our inner child is a part of the connection. The energies that we emit through our inner child. This is to give you for the idea of like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was so loved because he never moved from his inner child. He was always close to his inner child. So when you are in your inner child, that you can move from a higher realm where you, at the very least, where your ancestors are, right? So the energies, because now we're taking away the incarnated aspect of being, right? And now we're moving into an energy sense of understanding. So energetically, September 9 to 11, 3 days of a full moon 20 years ago from that time. Wow. Yeah, all of these are energies and frequencies depending on where you want to invest your energies in. But back to the question regarding the ancestors in your now self versus your child self. We were closer to our inner child, and our inner child, even through education, depending on where you are, you know, on this plane, right? It depends. But our inner child is the closest thing energetically to these frequencies of these other dimensions. This is why children are able to see imaginary friends and different things of that nature, because they're moving more into their inner child or their inner sense, right? We say innocence, but it's actually their inner, INNER sense, SENSE, their inner sense, right? So because they are moving more into their inner sense in terms of the energies that oscillate that frequency, you're able to tap in more energetically with an energetic aspect of being, thus what we call ancestors, right? That we innocently allow, our innocence allow to be able to protect and guide us, right? With the purest of intentions, right? As we become more into this realm, and the energies and the frequencies through education, indoctrination, family situations, environments, and all of these different things, right? It's not that the ancestors are not there to, you know, assist you energetically as they were there to be able to assist you as a what we call a child, right? It's just that we are far removed energetically by our beliefs and what we are energetically investing our energies into, right? That takes us away from our innocence, right? Our innocence, okay? Because our innocence is very pure and it's high vibrational in nature. It's high vibration, right? For many of us. But then we begin to become disconnected by the beliefs, the things that we give spiritual concessions to, right? Saying that we want to have an experience too, because we are the truth. The universe sees us as the truth. So if we invest our energies to say, okay, I'm going to believe in this, and the universe say, oh, okay, your wish is my command, right? So because you are truth walking, so it's going to say, the universe is not knowing that the truth has been manipulated until the level of discord is so great as to what we're seeing now. Now we're seeing the transitional aspect energetically to bring us back into harmony. Like I said, you know, our decisions, right? What we make of ourselves in our energetic investment is what takes us away from, you know, the things that, you know, that we could energetically rely on, right? We used to have a one-way connection, but now we have to build altars and all of these other, you know, external things from us, because we've been moved from an external side of things. We don't realize that our ancestors in our energetic imprint of our genome and genetics is the reason why we can have such a quick connection with them as a child, is because they're within they are within our energetic sequences of our genetics. They're right there, right inside. As they draw your blood to analyze your blood, they taking some information about your ancestors, you and everything. This is true. This is why they got DNA, ancestry, DNA and everything, because your ancestors are within you, energetically. They're harvesting your energy when they draw your blood. But we thought it was just blood, and I get to know I'm Dravidic. I'm, you know, where I'm, you know, I get to, and that's not true. That's deception, because they all trying to tell you that. But, you know, that's deception in itself, to get you to believe certain things, right? Oh, you was kicked out. Oh gosh. I tried to answer it though, baby. It's on. I did try to answer it to the best of my ability, and hopefully it makes, you know, sense to you, where it can move you and elevate you at a, you know, at a higher level towards what it is that you want to achieve with your ancestors. Your ancestors have never left you. They are a part of you. They are part of your genome. They are the energetic imprint, right? Your energy. They are a part of it. So they're not external of you. They are, we come from our ancestors, right? As what they say. Okay. It's just that our collections of what we've, our thought collection of what we're investing in energetically takes us away from, because we thinking that our ancestors are, you know, we don't look at them as energy. We look at them that they once were here, now they're gone, they're buried or whatever the case may be, or, you know, however we understand ancestors to be, not realizing that you are your ancestor. The very thing that you are externally, you know, giving energy to externally, you might as well give it to yourself, because they are within you. As a matter of fact, this ascensional value, right, ascends them. Your ascension in this bloodline that is incarnated here ascends them too as well. This unity consciousness thing is far much more deeper than just this incarnated aspect of being. It is knowing the spiritual side of self and understanding the material side of self, and how the material side of self, you know, correlates with the spiritual side of self in an ascensional value, in a descended state of being, right? But you can still have energetic ascension, right? Even though you're in this dimension, you can still have spiritual ascension. That is what they didn't want you to know in this dimension, in this incarnation, in this lower vibrational aspect of being. That's why they told you that heaven and hell was external of you, that you had to die, physically die, in order to attain it. Because they understood that you had the ability to attain the heavens right here, right now. But to attain an ascensional heaven, right, in an essential state of being and a high level of consciousness, meaning that's one less soul that they can cipher energy from. This is why I can say I no longer spiritually consent. They knew this shit was going to happen when you reach a certain level of ascension. You no longer give spiritual permission. You no longer give spiritual consent. This is what they don't want to happen. They know once you ascend, you are not going to give no consent to this. You are no longer going to give spiritual consent to this low vibrational state of being in a deceptional state of low vibration. Because you could also be in a harmonic state of low vibration, but this is in a deceptional state of low vibration. You will no longer give spiritual consent to the conception of low vibrational, right, deception, manipulation, aka lies, right? Everybody want to be at the top of the food chain when you don't realize that we all work in one accord. The beautiful music that the harp plays, the beautiful music that the piano plays, those were external examples of you, of who we are as a collective consciousness, the beautiful harmonic aspect of being, right? When a piano is out of tune, right? You go get the piano tuned up or whatever you need to do in order to tune it up, right? But our tuning, right, consisted of evasive surgeries and, pharmaceuticals, synthetic medication, because, we're no longer connected to the earth, right? We're no longer connected to the crystals, right? We're no longer connected to gold. We're no longer connected to silver. We're no longer connected to the elements, the earth, the ethers, we just totally disconnected. And we're now moving from a separational aspect of being that if you gay, you black, you white, you yellow, you green, if you Protestant, Catholic, Baptist, if you this, you that, you over here, over there. Oh, I don't subscribe to this and subscribe to that and following this and following that. No more deception. You will be able to see when you absolutely official G code. Absolutely. That is the reason why they constantly inundated us with low vibrational news is because they had to keep us at that deceptional state of being. Because if you ascended higher than the deception, right? If you ascend higher than the frequency that allows the deception, right? Or the vibration that allows the deception, then you will no longer spiritually consent to the deception. That is why they stagnated our ascension. Because everything is supposed to ascend. And now they're trying to hijack the metals with these androids and, these crystals and everything. Because once again, they are connected to source energy. Everything, all that is connected to source is a part of the oneness, of the harmonic aspect of being unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is even, as you saw those crystals being excavated, that's unity consciousness. You are connected to that. Even with it being out of sight, out of mind, it still had a presence. It still had a stance. It has a place that we are energetically connected to in frequency. I promise you, they don't want y'all to understand it in the way that I'm telling you. I promise you that. I'm going to show you, for those who are just coming in, I'm going to show that video one more again. Understand that on my live, when I show the videos, it lags. So the mouth doesn't really match the, what's going on. But fortunately for this, it's just music. It's just a visual. So you won't be able to, So I'm going to show you guys it again. the crystals in Superman, the sun. Oh yes, yeah. This is where they were telling us the lies, but they made it external. They put it in movies. They didn't tell you because they could not afford for you to ascend past the deception of what it is that they needed for you to remain here as a source of energy, so that they can cipher, right? Because the fallen is disconnected from source. So who are the fallen? Y'all already know who the fallens are. Anything that keep you, the fallen is anything that keep you away from your higher state of being, the higher state of self. Any entity, any system, any system, any situation, anything that keep you from a higher state of being, your higher aspect of your ascension. That is a part of the fallen. Anything that keep you away. So now, you are the fallen if you don't wake up into yourself to rise yourself out of the frequency that sustains you into the fallen aspect of being. We have been in a fallen state of being, man, through deception. And we never had to be, because we're multidimensional beings, but then again, we did have to be. Yeah, we got, the weed thing. Yeah, that's a whole nother, I was talking about that yesterday and my live got cut. But just know that the energetic component, the frequency component into the weed now, it's no longer there. They have genetically modified the frequency, right? So you now are more at risk to stay docile, right? Low vibration. It makes you feel depressed and everything. Depression is low vibration, babe. That's basically what it is. That's why I say, if you feel in low, play some Michael Jackson in your house to try to, to elevate, because he was very smart in his tunes and frequencies of what he put into his music, so that that it could be elevated, right? So that we could elevate our frequency. So, that's the only person that I know off top of my head that I know that it works with me, right? It's the place of Michael Jackson, right? But I'm not telling nobody not to smoke weed and everything, but the original aspect of what weed really is, if you are not growing it yourself and you don't understand the seeds, you don't have the true seeds that cultivates the true frequency of cannabis, right? Cannabis major, that the true frequency of it, the true frequency, not this modified, because all of the foods that we ingest now has been a modification in frequency. The seeds have been modified, if there are any, to keep us at a lower vibrational stance. Because and now I'm coming to understand that the reason why that was done, yes, I used to smoke all the time, but now I don't feel the need to. Yes. Yeah, because you're not getting the true frequency. You're not getting the true frequency. I was talking about the other day, back in the day, everybody said, which came first, the chicken or the egg? It didn't. It was genetics all along. It was science all along. That's why they could never answer that question, which came first, the chicken or the egg, because it was science. It was metaphysical quantum science that created the chicken. So you got to ask yourself, is the chicken the very thing that, that neuromelanated people love is chicken, right? They put that out there for a reason, right? To correlate it with our genome, right? So that it would entice us to eat meat. Man, I'm telling you, family, when I say now everything with what they call it, what they call that food now? I can't even think of the name of it. The plant-based food. Be careful. If you're not growing it yourself and you don't know the origin of the seed. Because what it is now, there was two things that was taking place. They were preparing us for transhumanism. They've been preparing us for transhumanism for a very long time. When you start seeing artificial things, when you start seeing churches check it out, never forget that commercial back in the day when Church's Chicken showed that this is their chicken, this is our chicken, and their thighs or their breasts or whichever one it was a big old piece of breast versus this little vest. That was their way of telling you right there. That was their compliance in universal law that they were genetically modifying the food. That you got this little piece of Beyond Meat. You got this little piece of chicken that they're used to seeing, and now you got this big old piece of chicken. And everybody's like, oh, we running down the big piece of meat, right? The big piece of chicken, right? All this genetic modifications has been going on for quite some time. This stuff that they're now talking about, plant-based and everything, how is it beneficial when you've modified the frequency of it? You've modified the frequency of the food. The very frequency that we need to ascend has been modified because they want to keep you stagnant. So this is why, they allowed, and note, listen, and let me explain something to you about this system. I want to show you something, right? As much as I love the sister, but the reason why they allowed, I don't want to say it. Okay, so I'm going to put it to you this way. The people that are pushing this plant-based stuff, right? This vegan way of living and everything, and they're using Beyond Meat to make spaghetti, and they're using all of these low vibrational things. They say it. So I gotta find another way. My yard chicken got bones, hard as metal. Oh wow. Well, they were the first GMOs, the chickens. They was one of the first GMOs, and they were created for consumption. Right? They were created official. Okay, I was trying to go like dance around it without really calling it that, because I respect her innocence. I can see her innocence in her, the purity of it. And she has just been one that just wanting to survive, and and I don't really, but this is why they're allowing rags to riches stories to commence when you push a certain agenda, right? So those who are you see them, all of a sudden they were like basically nobody, and then all of a sudden they become somebody through financial gain. It's because they're at this time, it warrants that type of energy or that type of faith to push an agenda. Yeah, some things should be said, but I'm actually saying it though. Like, I'm saying it in a way that when you see a nobody become somebody out of the blue, right? Well, I'm not calling them nobody, but when they're able to make a social presence, right? More of it. Mr. Over, don't you say nothing though. If you know, right? It's because they're following the new agenda, right? To keep us in the deceptional frequency, the deceptional low vibrational frequency. Right? Y'all got it? I ain't messing with y'all. Y'all too. Y'all brighter than the morning star. Although I think I gave it away though. It's only so much. Night school. Oh gosh. Yeah, so but yeah, so when you're pushing a certain narrative and a certain agenda that they need, common are becoming socially huge, because they are in a place to push the agenda of the Matrix, yes. So eloquently put, absolutely. Yeah, because I see her inner child. This is why I keep my comments on my keyboard. I be tempted to go live, but I do better behind my barrier. Well, we got to change the words. It's not your barrier. You're not confined, right? But you're just choosing you're choosing as to how to allocate your energy, right? Barrier, anything that puts you in a limited state of consciousness, we gotta curtail those types of things, because it houses a certain energy and frequency that is conducive to us, facilitating this lower vibrational stance of being with the deception, because the language is also deceiving. When we speak in that way, we are basically cursing ourselves. And don't get me wrong, it's it's a journey. It's going to be a journey for us to now be more conscious of how we speak and what we say. Learning, understanding the etymology of the words, and knowing how to go within to say, okay, I'm using this language. Guide me. Guide me. So I want to be spiritually guided in terms of how to, use this Bible that's obviously been put into place to keep us cursing ourselves on a constant, right? There's nothing. What is the topic? The topic is the oneness, right? The true aspect of unity consciousness, and it goes as far as deepening in the grounds to our crystal, the gold, the platinum, the silver, the minerals, and everything that we tend to look upon as a separate aspect of our being, when in actual reality it is connected to us in such a great way. This is a part of the unity consciousness, and what is transpiring now because of the ascension, right? Now the metals are now being intercepted, right? But they also want the aspect of the transhumanism. So what it is that the transhumanism is for people that are not ascending, right? That took that hot sauce 19 that is not ascending. That the unity consciousness, yes, that they're but it could be, you could fight it. You gotta know you gotta know, like, if our frequency, if we could accelerate the frequency, because we listen, everything in this mama being done, inside out, upside down, over it, out, everything is being done to stagnate this ascension, right? Everything. But if we can accelerate it, right? If we as a collective can accelerate the ascensional aspect of being, then we might be able to save a few that have taken the hot sauce 19, the metals, the gold, the silver. Because remember, they have been excavating gold. There's from what I've heard, gold has been sitting in Fort Knox. There's a ton load of gold that's like an astronomical amount of shit. Everybody think Fort Knox is about this paper money and stuff like that. No. And other places that is harboring the metals. And remember back in the day, we buy gold. Everybody was taking all their gold. They created this environment, that was very, stagnant in terms of prosperity. So people was out there selling their gold, everything. And yeah, been sitting there. Facts. Yeah. But now we know why. Now we're getting a much clear picture, and I'm sure it's a little bit more, it may be a little bit more deeper than that. I don't doubt the fact that the well runs really deep where that is concerned. But just to give a clarity, the way that I'm moving, in terms of understanding all of this, is that the fallen is just, this is me. The fallen is still trying to find a way to keep the best of both worlds, to incept the metals, right? To transhumanize the humans until they're integrated into the metals, right? To get the best of both worlds. And in order to do that, they had to inoculate you with all of these nanoparticles that's going to send information to your genome to create the ability to become transhuman, so they can stick chips in you and all this other kind of shit, so that your body don't reject the chips and don't reject all of these other things that they're planning on making the transhuman. See, it is how can I say, it's survival. It's for them, it's survival. To us as free and conscious beings, it's diabolical. For them, it's survival, because they have no connection to source. It's that's why they hijack anything that is connected to it. And now it's making more sense as to why mankind was created with source energies and it's now making more sense. And like I say, the gratitude. Like I said, now I forgot my thought. I know. It is although it's one story that has many tongues, right? The many tongues is the Babel, the many different languages, but it's one story told a multitude of ways, right? One story. One story that sounds similar in all religions, in all aspects. One story. It's always been one story that has been chopped and screwed and you know and created the illusion of separation and got some over here, some over there, but it's always been one story. And it's the one story, if we listen to each other, if we really truly listen to each other, it's the one story that still keeps us connected. Because what it is that the only thing that makes it different is that they put a different face on it, right? They put a Buddha on it, they put Jesus Christ on it, but we all saying the same thing. It's all saying the same thing, right? One story. But the illusion of separation is that I'm a Protestant, I'm a Baptist, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm over here, I'm over there, right? But it's all one story. So I just wanted to bring the metals into this unity consciousness thing. Oh, I wanted a bird. I wanted to bring the metals into this unity consciousness thing to show us how we are all connected and the inception of these androids. And another thing that I want y'all to go onto my stories. I don't know if it's still there, but I want you guys to go into my stories and look at how, like, they have made these prosthetics. This whole man put on a prosthetic that looks like a girl, like a woman. And with the naked eye, you really can't tell if it's her or not, other than maybe certain subtle features where she's still smiling. But remember, they're putting this out for public consumption because they want us to invest energies into it, right? This is all in the compilation of transhumanism, because they have to solicit, being that they are not connected to source. They need our energy. They need to cipher our energy to create these realities. Peace. Turtle tree. I like that. Peace. Right? Okay. So, gratitude. Much love to you as well. Freedom X. This is the thing. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say, really. In terms of that, and of course, if more comes, I am like, if you see my eyes, I am like, I'm tired. But I am grateful. I'm grateful for this space, this level of clarity, because it doesn't have to be exact, but if it's enough to move you and ascend you to a space where you now become more understanding of yourself, and you know more of thyself, and you're not, I don't speak like the Bobby Hemmitts or the Delbert Blairs and different things of that nature. They had their own lane. However, in this now moment, they're very impressionable. They're very beneficial in this now moment that is allowing us to be able to connect the dots. I speak through my own energetic imprint, so it's not going to maybe sound the same like somebody else's, and I'm not here to regurgitate anybody else's energetic imprint. But I just hope that my energetic imprint into how I'm speaking is allowing people to move in their own space, right? So that they can use this information to ascend themselves, to the next level of their being, the next space of their ascension. Because it is imperative that we now really truly know the truth. We know the truth. And we no longer consent to the deception. We no longer consent to the lies. We no longer consent to the truth being revealed, in a manipulative way on TV screens and all this other kind of stuff, through actors and all this other kind of stuff, right? Oh, gratitude, Mr. Obert. I appreciate it. Gratitude. So with that being said, fam, I'm going to end here. But if you guys have any questions or whatever, please feel free to just let me know, and I'll do my best. I didn't really get anybody on the panel today, which I that's kind of like a good thing, because I am kind of tired, but nevertheless, if you guys have any questions, I'm here. All right. Peace and love to all of you. I love you guys immensely. Know that you are the truth walking. You are everything. Everything is you. Unity consciousness in a deeper aspect of understanding what unity consciousness is. That is what I'm pushing, right? We appreciate you too. We love you. We love you. We love you immensely. All right, so until next time, y'all, I'll talk to you. Oh, gratitude. I'm grateful. Thankful. Thank you so much. Love you guys immensely. Bye, y'all. Oh, Nature Wolf, you still here. Bye, Sarah. Love you. Love you, Nature Wolf. Love you, Mr. Overit. Let me see who else. I love you all, my Illumina. One Plate of Wisdom, Yolanda, Your Highness. Oh, you guys are here. The spiritual knowable Miss Rabalu Faso. I'm sorry for chopping up your name. Natiro Mahomo, you know I chopped that up. 33. I like 33. That sounds like some island thing. I love that. Mr. Overit, the spiritual. I love you guys. I love all of you that are here. And thank you for you guys' presence. I appreciate you guys so much. So much. All right. Later. Until next time. I love you too, baby. Thank you. Until next time. Later, fam.